guys, so today I want to share another story with you. Today I want to talk about new details on why a sad and stressed out Prince Harry and Meghan Markle resign. Plus, is Canada going to be their new home? Okay, guys, so now if you watch my videos, you guys know I always like to cover people from the world of television, specifically reality TV stars. But every now and then, if I come across a story that really captures my attention and it still has to do with television, I'll do those types of stories too. So that's exactly what I'm doing today. Now, this story has fascinated me in so many ways I can't even begin to tell you. Like, even from the beginning, I remember someone told me one day, hey, did you know that Prince Harry's getting married to a black girl from Compton? And I was like, what? I mean, they were like, no, seriously, she's biracial. I thought biracial could have been, I was like, are you sure she's not Irish and German? You know, some different kind of white people like that. And they were, no, she's African American, mixed with African American. And it's not that it's unusual for people to be in a mixed marriage, but I just really never thought I'd hear the word Prince Harry and Compton together. But so that fascinated me. I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, she's so lucky. Everybody wants to be a princess. And so, I followed her story. I was like, oh, she's so lucky. But, as time went on, she was looking sadder and sadder. And do you guys remember? She even gave an interview where she almost cried. I think the interviewer was like, how are you doing? And she was like, thanks for asking. She really looks stressed. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And then, of course, let's just be real. The British tabloids, press, whatever you call them, they really rode her. I mean, they're vicious. They're like, it's a different kind of vicious than the U.S. They're worse. They really are. But they really was mean to her. They couldn't get over the fact that she was biracial. She was going to be put in the spotlight and they were going to ride her any way that it went, because look how they did Princess Diana. But they don't know when to stop. I'm not British, so I'm not understanding their obsession with the royals in such in a way that it just like messes up their life. Okay, like they did Princess Diana the same way. So we don't have any royals here. I mean, the best we can do, I don't know, would be, I don't know, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. But then, even then, they break up all the time. They're allowed to quit jobs. And so, from my understanding, I didn't even think that you could quit being a royal. I said, what? You can quit? I had no idea. I was just as I was very blind about the whole thing and very shocked when all of a sudden on Instagram, okay, yeah, they quit on Instagram. That's another thing that fascinated me. That Prince Harry put out this statement, and this is what it said. Now, let me remind you the way that I found out. I was working to CNN. I always have CNN on my television while I'm working with the sound turned down, and all of a sudden this statement came across the screen, and this is what it says. After many months of reflection and internal discussions, we have chosen to make a transition this year in starting to carve out a progressive new role within this institution. And I thought, sounds like he's quitting, but he can't quit. He's the prince. I've never ever heard of a prince quitting. Then the following statement came on. It said, we intend to step back as senior members of the royal family and work to become financially independent while continually to fully support Her Majesty the Queen. Well, he just came right out and said it. He said, step back. In American terms, I'm out. I'm quitting. And I thought, oh my goodness, maybe, who knew they could quit? I was really, really shocked. Well, now, lucky for me, about 3 hours ago, People magazine just released an in-depth article on what really happened and what was going on. So let's get into these details. Now, we've been hearing reports from the last couple of days that the royal family was blindsided by this. They had no idea that Harry was going to resign, and especially on Instagram. However, according to this new article, the family has been in talks about him stepping back, not having such a major role anymore. But when Prince Harry found out that the information was going to get leaked to the press, he felt that his hands were tied. And so this is what he chose to do. He decided to get ahead of the story and announce it on Instagram. Now, he didn't want, according to this article, to do it that way or even offend or shock his family, but he felt that was the best way to handle it. So in other words, in American terms, he made an executive decision. Now, according to this article, Prince Charles and William were very hurt in which the manner that he decided to go ahead and resign. They would have preferred things went down differently. Of course, we heard that at the time that it happened, the Queen called an emergency meeting because she really wanted to work some things out. For some reason, I feel, this is me now, that she knows it's a bad look, okay, for your grandson to step down, to quit, and then go hightail it to North America. I mean, it's just a bad look, especially after Prince Andrew stepped back on some of his duties. I believe it was last month, a couple weeks ago. I mean, it's not a good look for the family, just period. This article goes on to say that the family do not believe that Prince Harry and Meghan acted on their own. They feel like all of this stepping back is being influenced by some other person or some other, I don't know, it's coming from somewhere, and they don't believe it's coming from Harry. They think that he's being heavily influenced. But that's kind of an insult and a slap in the face. Why couldn't it come from Harry? Why can't Harry be fed up with what's going on? Now, we already heard from other sources that the royal family environment is toxic. I believe it was it all started between Kate and Meghan, okay? So these two, I'm going to read exactly the way that it was quoted. These two women were quite different, and really the only thing they had in common was they married princes. Not just Prince Harry. I think probably the world wanted them to become best friends, but they just didn't get along. And I don't know why this is so hard for people to understand. There are personalities that you click with more than others, and then there's some people, no matter what happens, how nice they are to you, you're just not feeling that person. I'm just going to put it in friendly terms. And I guess the icing of the cake all started back with a dress. You know how women can get. I guess the two women started bickering over a dress, and it got so bad that they actually ended up falling out, okay? Now, people shouldn't be shocked about this. Women do it all the time, except that when we do it, regular commoners, we just don't have the title prince or princess in front of our names. But women can get very petty. According to this article, that's exactly what happened. It started out small, and it just grew, and the women actually ended up stopped talking to each other completely. I could see it. It happens in every high school. It happens in every yacht club. Women just have a tendency to bicker. But put that on top of the press making things worse, saying nice ones about this one, which is supposed to be Kate, and not so nice things about this one, which is Meghan. And then there is the factor that she was biracial. So she's getting dogged by the press on a daily basis. Things between her and her sister-in-law is really icy. And then, according to Harry, he feels that he didn't get much support from the family. Then there's what I call the royal rules. You know, they're taught to not be so verbal, kind of just take things, be proper at all times. And, you know, I mean, I guess that's okay if you were raised that way or that was your natural personality, but not everyone acts like that, especially Americans. We are very vocal. Okay, we will just give you a piece of our mind instantly. And so I feel for Meghan. I mean, that was a lot to take on at one time, and I could just see things just escalating. And me personally, I think it was an admirable thing to do, to see your wife in pain, not like what's going on, and to say, hey, no title is worth this, no money's worth this, I'm out. And it had to be very hard for Harry to do that because he had to turn against his family members. It is what it is. They would not have wanted it this way, especially the queen. She wanted some kind of resolution, and he just seen what his wife was going through. And if his wife's going through it, he's going through it. And he just said, enough is enough. According to other outlets, another huge reason that he decided to resign is his son. He didn't want his son to be raised in this environment. It was just a lot. That right there, in my opinion, is a real father. Parents have to take their children's future into consideration. And so he said, Meghan was miserable. I'm not about to raise my son in this environment. Enough is enough. Now, I want you to understand, this is my opinion as an American. I'm not British. I don't know what the royal family means to that country. So I could just be talking out of one ear and blowing smoke out the other, because maybe it's like the ultimate betrayal to step away. When you are born into this, you know how important it is to your country. I'm just saying as an American, so I could be completely wrong. And if I am, let me know in the comments section. Because and be details, be like, Sharrell, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. He was well aware, of what his duties are or whatever. I'm just saying from my point of view, on the other side of the pond, just getting bits and pieces of information. I'm not British at all. And I think that makes a huge difference in public opinion. People have different cultures, they see things differently. So, I'm well aware. I'm just talking from my point of view. But that's what the article stated. So that's the update on the latest on what's going on as for now. And, it could change. Maybe, they can come to some kind of agreement. But in the meantime, it looks like the couple's staying in Canada, specifically Vancouver. So, it is what it is, and I'll keep you guys informed. It's a fascinating story because what happened, him resigning, is unprecedented. It's never been done before, so this is history in the making. Okay, you guys, if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. Also, don't forget to let me know in the comments section what's your opinion on all of this. It's really insane almost. It really is. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.